Yes, welcome to our podcast on decoding the life of a data scientist. So, where we deep dive into the world of data science. Today, we have the privilege of speaking with uh, Rahul Ramesh, a lead data scientist, a seasoned professional who leads a team of data scientists. Rahul, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Chandra. Thanks for the kind words, and it's been an honor to take part in this podcast. I'm very privileged.
Yep. Good afternoon, and how things are so far? What's going on? So, regarding the Gen AI or data science, anything special that you want to share before we get into the actual work?
Yeah. So far things are going good, and good amount of learning I'm having in my place in my company. So yeah, hopefully I'll be working on a lot of projects and getting more hands-on experiences here.
Yep. It's great to listen when you're getting more projects and when you're working on a new type of challenges with the data science, and that's what ultimately what we require. And it's happy to hear. I'm happy to hear that. Okay, so let's get into the rampage.
Sure, sure.
So, the agenda of this podcast is majorly uh, to talk about a day in your life as a lead data scientist. How would it be? And from the moment you get into the office till the day you sleep, till the moment that till the moment you sleep. So, what all things you do, how it goes. So basically, the technical front. So we would like to know so that a lot of newbies who just wanted to get into the data science, they just want to understand and know how the life of a data scientist, lead data scientist, and principal data scientist. So that's the main agenda of this webinar. So are you up for it? Are you
Yeah,
excited?
sure.
I hope
Definitely.
our viewers also will be excited, and this pupil is going to learn a lot from you as you have a solid experience in data science, and now you're serving as a lead data scientist. And it's all my pleasure to connect with you and host you here. Thanks a lot again to join with us.
Thank you so much, Chandra.
Okay, so let's begin. The first question. Um, could you start by giving us a broad overview of your role as a lead data scientist? So what does a typical day looks like for you? I'll just prompt you because it's like you're an LLM and I'm a prompt. So you can talk about how the day starts and what all you do, and you can take some example of the project, what type of activity you can do it. It's all up to you. The stage is yours.
Yeah, sure. So, as a lead data scientist, my role is multifaceted. So, I'm responsible for guiding my team, collaborating with my principal data scientist, and then ensuring that our projects align with the company's overall objectives. And a typical day involves a mix of technical tasks and then strategic planning and maybe stakeholder management. Like we have a lot of meetings with the stakeholders, and then we used to collaborate within our team also. and I spent a significant proportions of my time mentoring my team and then reviewing their work and also providing guidance. Apart from that, additionally, I collaborate closely with principal data scientists on complex modeling tasks and then algorithm development and execution of a particular code. So, bringing that things to the output, right? So getting the output, that is what we mostly do. We will mostly focus on, and apart from that, we also have daily stand-ups also.
Yep,
So this is
pretty
how
structured.
the day starts.
Yes, exactly. Pretty structured and always exciting to hear because I have been coming from the same role a few years before. But I would request you to talk specifically about yesterday, what you have done, so that it would be very useful for our viewers
Okay.
because it's
So
Friday too.
if you ask particularly about yesterday, then okay. So I started with checking my mails initially from the day started for any information has been sent, or like is there any scheduled meetings, or is there any code related updates which have been sent from my seniors, principal data scientists or managers. Usually check mails in the morning, and then we I then start with the code review, like whatever I have done day before yesterday will be reviewed by me, and then I will start with my stand-up call. So once the stand-up call is done, basically in stand-up call we used to have a discussion of what is the task, and then what is the status of the task we are doing, and then current tracking progress. So the updates will be given to my manager and then to the principal data scientist. And then later we will decide the next the rest of the day's task, and then I will start my work as planned. So that's what happens. And then usually once I started my work, and then I used to do as I said, it's a multifaceted work. One side I will be doing my code, and the other side I will be guiding my team, and then also I have to take the crucial decisions also in my work, right? So it is not a dependent work, it's a purely independent work. So that's what a lead is. So that's where I
Exactly.
put most of my domain knowledge and understand things, and then try to solve the challenges by myself. In case if I get any sort of uh, hiccups, and I'll be going to my seniors and asking for clarity. So that's how my work is. Yeah, yeah, Chandra.
Yeah, that's perfect. So I would like to ask a counter question. Would it
Yeah.
like every day similar to the yesterday, or will there be a difference?
Okay. It depends. It depends. It won't be same as
Yeah, just
yesterday
hold on there.
because
Uh,
yeah.
Folks, all newbies of data science and Gen AI. So every day is not same, my dear friends. So if you would like to explore more, how would it look like another day? How would it look like an entire month or in a quarter or year? Just stay tuned for the more updates, and then stay tuned for more webinars, and we'll be checking up more webinars on top of that topic. And then just subscribe and comment and follow it. So we will come up with the more webinars. We will, unravel the entire life of a data scientist and decode it for you. Yeah, Rahul.
Yes, Chandra. So yeah, that's my entire day. Like as I told, it's not the same as yesterday work. It will be continuously changing. We'll be adding new things into the task, and then we might also have the stakeholders meetings, and we might also have some workshops. So this is how it will be keep on dynamically changing. And yes, but the core work remains same. Uh, Apart from that, we also do take care of the other aspects as well.
Perfect. So the next thing that we're going to explore. So basically, what we're doing here is exploring the life of data scientist, which is EDA, exploratory data analysis. So can you elaborate on the tools and technologies you use daily, and how do you balance the use of tools like Jupyter notebooks for exploratory data analysis with more structured coding environments? So if you think the questions, I have posed two questions. If you think you require a question to be posed one by one, it's absolutely fine. You just let me know whichever is comfortable for you.
Yeah, yeah. I'll try to address the first question. So, and followed by the second question. Yes. So, absolutely, Jupyter notebooks are invaluable for rapid prototyping and exploratory data analysis. We usually do before going into the modular program, we used to explore the data and try to uh, see the skeleton of the data, and we wanted to see how does the data looks like through visualizations, graphs, or charts. And then we will also they allow for quick visualization and experimentation works. So it's basically used for that. And however, for production grade code, we transition to more structured environments, and also version control systems will be used. Um, yeah, and code debugging. Um, you know, uh, Okay, code debugging and modular coding and unit testing are essential for ensuring code quality and then maintainability. So that's the production level code. We go for the organized tools, right? We'll take up even Jira for updating the tasks, and then SharePoint for storing the important information and sharing it across with our team members. And yeah, so we also leverage tools like Jira, as I told, and then which is used for project management. Yeah,
Yeah, just a counter question here. So, as a team, you got like probably you got a project. Let's imagine you have taken up a project after doing the complete cost benefit analysis and everything. Of course, after the POC, now you need to start the development. And I think you have a team of 4 to 5 like that's where you lead them. And no, how do you collaborate all three together? So how would distribute the work, and so where will you collaborate? Which tool you use to collaborate, and how do you do it? Like, how do you push the code? No, individual person will work on particular module, and then you push the code together, or what exactly? Can you elaborate a bit so that our newbies and data science folks can get a grasp of it and they can start learning a particular tool? If you have to recommend any one tool that they have to learn before get into the data science, which is out of artificial intelligence, what could it be? Is it a Git or GitHub or GitLab?
so that's a good question. So it is completely subjective to the company, I would say. Uh, when I talk about my company, we have few tools, but usually what people does is they usually collaborate with uh, uh, a tool like GitHub. So a lead data scientist will have a set of code, and then followed by the juniors. Juniors will be working on few things, and every at the end of the day, everything has to come into one package, right? All the units have to be combined. So that's where they use Git to push all the codes to the GitHub. So they version the code, and they keep tracking each and every unit of code they have built on a daily basis, and then and they will be pushing the code at the end of the day to the GitHub repositories. And again, it's subjective. Tools are subjective, and they might use other things like GitLab or Git, or even the Jira softwares like Bitbucket. So all these things can be used, but end of the day, the collaboration remains the same. So that's how teams work will be captured and tracked and will be used for the uh, uh, future coding purposes and then development purposes.
Absolutely. So that's informative. So let's dig another topic now. So how do you ensure that your team adheres to the coding standards and best practices? So I'm not talking from software perspective. So I would like you to explore in data science perspective.
Okay. So in okay, I got the question. So basically, we'll emphasize the importance of code readability in first case, and then code maintainability and efficiency. Regular code reviews and then pair programmings are crucial. So we used to sit together, understand each and every single line of code. I used to sit with my senior principal and other guys to understand and to we will go through each and every single line of code to ensure that that code is it has a very good readability and it does the work what we wanted to. So that's where our major focus is. We don't want to provide a code which creates a bug or which can't be compatible uh, with other applications. Like let's say my code will be repeated or repeatability is important, then my code has to work in every single place as it is working now. So that aspect we wanted to ensure. And then we also encourage the use of code linters and then style checkers to enforce the consistency.
Okay, so here I would like to ask one more question. Like it's a bit of I know secret. So would you like to would you like your um, team members to use GPT or Gemini or any other open source tool just to write a code? Is that will you allow that? Or so what is your opinion on it? Because now people, so a lot of newbies and data scientists, they just think that okay, I have chat gpt, I have Gemini, I have Llama, so few other LLMs, from there I can fetch the code and directly add it there. So I just want to give a message to them. So if you have to give a message to them, what will you give?
Okay, that's a tricky question. Again, okay,
Yeah, I agree.
but I am in a position to answer that here. Yeah, so I would say I will not completely encourage to depend or rely on ChatGPT for every single thing, but instead, I would say use it as a assistant tool. Don't give the complete, the complete leverage to the ChatGPT. You be the master and then take the help from the ChatGPT for small things. Again, understanding the problem statement and then debugging the error you should have. You should use your knowledge, and with that knowledge, you should be able to check with the ChatGPT. You should not ask the ChatGPT what is the error. You find it for me. So that's very important for the juniors, I would say. So using ChatGPT is fine, but use it in a proper way. Don't depend on it completely. So you better understand. You try it on the Stack Overflow. You search it, what error it is, what type of error it is, how you can solve it, in what aspect it is trying. You basically, if an error comes, you have to understand it. You should not just copy paste and put it in the chat GPT. So that
Right.
understanding will, that is the knowledge you are gaining. So as a senior or lead, you are growing, you will be learning through the errors. So that's the reason I would suggest uh, use chat GPT in a wise way.
It's just a follow-up question. Uh, but you don't need to reveal what is the policy within your company. But roughly, you can give me a generic statement. So
Okay,
I know in few companies, GPT and Gemini are not allowed. So do you have
exactly.
any information as such? Is it allowed or not? because as per I know, as per my understanding in few company, so I can't access Gemini or I can't access GPT within my workspace, within my company's workspace. I'm talking about digital workspace, not within the office premises. I'm talking about once you log into your laptop, you won't be able to access either GPT or Gemini. So have you observed or have you, have you been through these kind of situations?
So far, fortunately, I have not been into that kind of situations, but
Oh, that's
in the
great.
future, maybe I will have to. Yeah, I might not given access to ChatGPT or Gemini. So yes, that's also in some cases it makes sense. So for the security purposes, we can't use ChatGPT and Gemini because of the data privacy and data compliance issues. We might not have that access. Yes, that's the reason I'm insisting my juniors to not use the ChatGPT as a like you can't depend, don't depend on it. You depend on yourself, and then just
Yes.
uh, use your way of solving things, your thinking, and your ideas. Bring it to the reality. So that's the great thing they would wanted to actually have. So
Yeah, I
yes,
agree completely. Because even I've seen a few companies, for example, like where the data security is at the high level, kind of, legal companies or healthcare companies or few other companies where data data security is at most important. So that's where you can't access these tools within the workspace, within that workspace. That's pretty good. So guys, you guys need to know about these things. Just don't think that some or other will use the GPT tools and then LLM tools and then try to finish my work. So in spite of that, you just keep learning and keep focusing on how to do it and try to do work on some practical use cases on your own if you have not yet got the job. Okay, so with this, we'll move to the next section where we will be talking about a bit of challenges and overriding hurdles that you have faced in your career. So basically, I'm talking from data science project perspective. So, what are the biggest challenges you faced as a lead data scientist, and how do you manage competing priorities and tight deadlines? So this will
yeah,
send a message to senior data scientists which who wanted to be aspiring to be a lead data scientist.
okay. So it's purely based on balancing. Uh, then the competing priorities is undoubtedly a challenge, right? So effective project management and prioritization are the key. So you must be a good project manager, and then also you must choose the priorities accordingly. So that way, so we use some agile methodologies to break down the projects, and we work on sprints, and we also create the roadmaps for what the work we are going to do for the next 2 to 3 months, and then regular communication with the team members, and then follow-up meetings, and then tracking of the projects. So all these things will contribute to the uh, like following up with the deadlines, right? So we ensure we use all these methods and techniques to uh, stick to the timelines, and then we deliver whatever project we have been given. So yeah, and also with stakeholders, it's essential to ensure alignment and then manage the expectations of them. So we must meet the expectations, even if it comes to the reality. The output should have that much amount of accuracy, and then it should have that credibility. Then only the stakeholders will be happy to give us the more projects and then collaborate with us.
Yep, that's pretty good, and then it's very informative for a lot of lead data scientists. And so, how do you bridge the gap between the technical world of data science and the business side as a lead data scientist. So we want your practical understanding.
Okay. So it is technical world of data science and business side. If you ask, building strong relationships with the stakeholders is crucial, I would say. And then I spend time in understanding the business context and then translating the complex technical concepts into actionable insights. So and also attending workshops. That's main. That's the crucial thing. And then conferences. Going to some conferences, generative AI conference, or it can be a domain-specific conference, workshops. This helps me to stay updated on industry standards and then trends and then business challenges. So I must be a domain expert. I must think in that way also, and also I should think as a data scientist. So both club together is what I would say a lead's responsibility. Yes.
Can you share any experience where we have attended some conferences, or how did you get the benefit out of it?
So actually, yeah, we do have attended few conferences. Uh, let's say, for example, if we are doing some project with respect to generative AI, so we might not know the actual power of the LLM. So what we can do with them and how it can be used specific to our use cases. So that's the reason we go for the conferences. We have attended many like Google, Microsoft, and few other
That's
things
great, man.
also.
It's great.
But yeah, but the idea is we go to the conference and we there will be some key takeaways from the conferences which will be helpful for implementing our projects efficiently. So we might not know, okay, LLM can be used or leveraged in this way. Maybe agents will solve the problem for us. So that's how we will go and explore and then learn things and then come back and apply the things to get the real-time outputs.
Perfect. Perfect. So I have a small request for you. So next time when you attend a conference or an event outside, so I would request you to join with me and explaining the outcomes or the basically the learnings that you got or the benefits that you got from that particular conference to our viewers.
Definitely, definitely. I will be very happy to join with you. Yeah, Chandra.
Thanks a lot for accepting my invitation. And so now let's talk about project delivery side, because being a lead data scientist, that's very important aspect. A delivery, a lead and principal, they come together. So basically that's where you need to talk about how do you collaborate with your seniors as a leader. So both we will be speaking now. So how does your role differ from that of a principal data scientist, and how do you collaborate effectively? Fundamentally, people and a lot of newbies don't know exactly the difference between the lead data scientist and a principal data scientist. So I would like you to shed a light on the difference, please.
Okay, okay. So the main difference between principal data scientist and lead data scientist is principal would be mostly focusing on the research and development side. So he will not work on the hands-on. Of course, he will be doing hands-on for research side, but not in the project delivery side. So project has to be delivered by the lead and seniors and then the junior guys. So principal will give the direction to the people who are working under him, and he will review the results or outputs and cross-verify with his expertise, and then he will come up with a best way of doing the things. So that's what a principal data scientist does. And also he will be collaborating with other stakeholders for bringing in more projects to innovative projects to the team. And also he will be guiding us and then also the juniors, etc., etc. So this is the core job of principal data scientist, and also they will be having meetings with their managers as well. And if you take lead data scientist, it's purely a leader. A leader should lead the team, as well as he also should be a part of the task. So he should also be coding, and then also take crucial decisions by his with his expertise, and then come up with new ideas, and then guide the juniors, and then uh, uh, create a proper structured streamlined workflow. So that's the most important for the lead data scientist. He has to be uh, the warrior. He has to do all the stuffs, including coding, and meetings, and debugging the code, and then solving the hurdles, challenges, etc., etc.
I agree. So just on fun side, who else are you know uh, who else are best qualified to answer this question other than we? Because I'm principal and you're lead there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. That's great. So how do you measure the success of your project? That's very important for a lead data scientist. So what metrics do you use to evaluate your team's performance? These are the two questions.
Okay. So we use a combination of quantitative and then qualitative metrics. The key performance indicators helps us to measure the impact of our models on business outcomes. So we do have a few evaluation methods to evaluate the throughput of our team, as well as the throughput of our projects. So we use that particular methods to derive the exact efficiency of our complete product. And also, we also conduct regular retrospectives to identify the areas of improvement. So where we are lagging exactly now. So we will be continuously reiterating, and then following up, and then improvising things continuously.
Perfect. So I think it's little deeper question. So we need to explore the entire question and answer for this particular topic, probably in a separate session, because
Yeah.
so how the key parameters, indicators, and then metrics are all little deeper. So,
Yes.
just candid question. So the field of data science is rapidly evolving. How rapid? Just 6 years back when I actually started off with the actual data science, because 1.5 year I worked as a data analyst. Then I've actually taken up the solid with the proper designation of data scientist and then data science projects. So I was majorly working on, if you work on a regression, linear regression, or logistic regression, or decision trees, or that would be the ultimate thing to be done. Like you can brag yourself that I've worked on very advanced projects. And post that, post 2 years, if you work on computer vision, neural networks, deep neural networks, basically your convolutional neural networks, and then recurrent neural networks, and that's an ultimate thing to be done. So we all basically have taken some projects, and then we have presented, we have posted it in LinkedIn also. But now
Mhm.
those things are almost on the backstage, on the back foot. Now the one person has come into the picture. It's generative AI and more of LLM, large language models with text and multimodal. And all the companies are hugely investing in this generative AI. From Google, Microsoft, OpenAI, each and every company. I'll just give you an example just to understand the gravity of this. No, the OpenAI was founded by few people. On top of that, they have taken few employees like CEOs, CTOs, and all. All employees have left the company, and they have started new AI ventures, AI startups. Just see the gravity of the generative AI. So this is not just rapid. This is a fast-paced, very rapid, highly evolving field. So my question is, I'm sorry for giving the detailed explanation of my question, if you don't mind. So,
No problem.
what do you see as the future of the industry? That's I'm talking about data science and artificial intelligence, in which your Gen AI is also included. And what skills do you think data scientists will need to stay ahead?
That's a great question. As you rightly pointed out, uh, the scenario 2 years back, uh, it was not the same as now. So people were dependent on machine learning, neural networks, and then computer vision. These was the main areas of focus for the data science companies. So, and also NLP, few use cases people used to work on, like not in a very aggressive level. So, but of course there were models like BART, and then sorry, BERT, and then they used to have some large language models like OpenAI's ChatGPT 1, 2, and all 1.5. So it was not effectively used, I would say. And now people have started using it effectively after the evolution of ChatGPT and Gemini. So people started seeing the power of LLMs and their what it can do. So that's the reason every industry is almost working on minimum to minimum 10 use cases on generative AI. So I would say quickly, in a single shot, I would say um, it's fine to learn. It is good to learn the basics and fundamentals of data science. It can be statistics, machine learning, and then deep learning. And also, you guys have to quickly get your hands dirty on generative AI also. So that's where our industry is fast moving. So they are moving towards generative AI. So basically, sticking with the industry will that makes sense, right? If you are not doing something which others are doing, then you will be slightly a step behind. So for the juniors, I would suggest that please follow all the projects and then all the capabilities that LLM can do, and then work on generative AI projects and learn or keep up to date, like what people are doing in generative AI. Maybe you can follow up with the conferences. You can read blogs on generative AI and the techniques used, for example, grounding and function calling and a lot of techniques are there in prompt engineering.
RAG,
Yeah,
RAG,
so these are the
multi-engineering.
required skills. Yeah, required skills for the industries. So people have a lot of requirement for these skills. So I would suggest go through these skills, be proficient in this. The future of data science is it's exciting one. So I believe there will be a growing emphasis of ethical AI also, and slowly we will be
Agree.
moving towards AGI, artificial
Yes,
general intelligence, as Sam
perfect.
Altman said. So yeah, so
So
considering
your
the data privacy, we should also look into that data privacy and then data compliances. Uh, yeah, considering that we should whatever we build should follow that principles of AI. Then it will be very good to go. And learning skills like cloud computing and then big data technologies, and then also LLM ops, to how to
yeah,
deploy a LLM generative AI model into production pipelines. So
exactly.
these are the important things and important technologies you have to get your hands dirty.
So the direct message to the newbies and new AI folks is, so not just a classical ML, not just deep learning. You just also need to focus a bit and learn some basics of generative AI and more of large
Exactly.
language models. Okay. Yeah, so we will talk in detail in some other session about LLMs and where you can start it off and then how do you start it off. So So I just want to summarize everything. So actually, we have started. This is the agenda of this call is to talk, or basically to share your experiences, kind of a day that you do in your day of the entire, data scientist, as a lead data scientist in your uh, career, basically in your profession at your company. So, however, in addition to that, we also have discussed a few other important topics, kind of how will you collaborate with the principal data scientist, and then talking about the delivery of your project, and also addressing the challenges and how to overcome this hurdles, and what all tools that we use and what tool you use to collaborate. So these are the few things we have spoken in addition to the direction of data science at the end, where it will go, and you have given a message to the newbies. So so with this, I would like to thank you for sharing your insights, and your experience provides a valuable guidance for aspiring data scientists. And we appreciate you taking the time to share your journey with us. And thanks a lot. Thanks a
Yeah,
million,
thank
man.
you so much for having me, Chandra. It was a pleasure talking to you, and hope my experiences would help our junior aspiring data scientists to grow and learn and become a very good data scientist in the future.
Exactly. Yep. So I hope you got a lot of understanding about how would a lead data scientist day look like. And in future, we will be exploring more, and we would like to explore more about how would a lead data scientist life look for 1 month and then quarter. So now how the projects come. So everything in detail. Just stay tuned for the updates and just subscribe and keep commenting and keep sharing our videos so that maximum number of people can get the benefit out of it. And with this, I'm signing off. Take care, all the data scientists. See you again with another podcast, a much more craziest and interesting one. Thanks a lot. See you again.